most respected dignitaries and respected teachers. Good afternoon to one and all people over here. I welcome you all to the second day of the 6 days faculty development program on University Preparedness and Accreditation, organized by IQAC, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University. Now I request Dr. Shakir Ahmed, Professor, Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University, for the welcome address, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, one and all. I welcome our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sundar, then our registrar, the other members, the senior staff members, the associate members, the associate professors, assistant professors, the guest faculty, and the other supporting staff. So I welcome the Vice Chancellor for being over here, in spite of his busy schedule, the registrar, everybody over here. And I welcome for the second day workshop on FTP significance of curriculum teaching, learning and evaluation in accreditation process. So I have the privilege to welcome our guest today, Dr. Anjum. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Biochemistry of Justice Bashir Ahmed Said Women's College, Autonomous, Chennai. She has 22 years of teaching experience. She has completed her PhD in the year 2016. Her area of research is clinical biochemistry. She is a member of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and an L&D coordinator of the department. She is a life member of Indian Science Congress Association. Also, a member expert of Doctoral Committee meeting for PhD program at Satyabama University of Science and Technology. She was instrumental in organizing a national conference titled Beat Plastic Pollution in 2019. She has published 5 research papers in reputed journals and presented 7 papers in national and international conference. She has organized many workshops and participated in national and international seminars and conferences. I once again welcome Dr. Anjum and Dr. Jasmine for this session. So the floor is left to Dr. Anjum now. Thank you.
From Biochemistry Department, and my colleague, this is Jasmine, is from Electronic Science and Communication. And we are here today to give our inputs for this 2 criterions, that is 1 and 2 of NAC. On behalf of the IQAC of Justice Bashir Ahmed Said College for Women, it's my immense pleasure to be a part of the FDP program titled University Preparedness for Accreditation. I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar and the IQAC Coordinator for giving us this opportunity, and a warm welcome to all the faculty members gathered here. So we will start with the first criterion. Can you just see it? So before we start with the criterion 1, so as all of you are well aware, these are the 7 criterions of NAC for the submission of the self-study report. So now today we will focus on criterion 1, that is curricular aspect, followed by criterion 2, which is teaching, learning and evaluation. Now criterion 1 is it emphasizes on the curricular aspects. So whether it is a university or a college, it is mandatory to revise its syllabus once in every 3 years. So the revision of the syllabus should be such that it is in tune with the emerging national global trends and also relevant to the local needs. And it should also be in such a way that we also provide academic flexibility in the curriculum. And apart from this, a feedback mechanism is compulsory so that we can get the feedback from all the stakeholders and we can improve our curriculum accordingly. So this is what is actually is covered in curricular aspect. Now there are 4 key indicators in criterion 1 that is which comes to around 150 marks, and 1.1 is about curriculum design and development, that is about 50 marks. 1.2 is academic flexibility, which is 50 again, and 1.3 is curriculum enrichment, which is 30, and 1.4 is feedback mechanism, which is around 20 marks. Now, for every key indicator, you have qualitative as well as quantitative metrics. So, there are around 11 metric totally, out of which 2 are qualitative and 9 are quantitative. So wherever quantitative data is there, we have to provide the numbers, and qualitative means we have to give a description of 500 words. Now coming to the first key indicator, that is curriculum design and development. So it goes about with the revision of the syllabus. Okay, so when we go with the revision of the syllabus, the discussion starts from the department level. Okay, and then we have to call the subject experts, an industrialist and alumni, and also we must see to that we frame the syllabus in such a way it is updated and it is relevant to the local needs, and also it is on par with the emerging national and global trends. Now, as OBE has been implemented in 2018, every course meaning papers, okay, so every papers we have to design the outcomes, we have to identify the outcomes, okay. So program specific outcomes, it is specific for every department, whereas program outcome is specific for either it may be science, commerce or arts, and course outcome which is specific for every paper of the department. And the curriculum designed by the university, or it may be college also, it should focus on employability, entrepreneurship and skill development. And whatever, whether it is the syllabus or whether it is the PO, PSOs or COs, everything should be uploaded in the website. So this is 1.1, that is curriculum design and development. Now this, whatever we are showing here is the updated manual which is to be followed by the university. Okay, so this is the manual which the university has to follow for the NAC criterion. Okay, now 1.1.1 is the curriculum developed and implemented, whether it has relevance to the local, national, regional, global developmental needs, and whether it is reflected in the outcomes, whether it is program or program specific or course outcome of the programs. Now programs refers to the departments. Now 1.1.1 is descriptive, it is qualitative metric. So you have to give a description of 500 words where you will cover all these 5 points. That is how you have come about with the revision of the syllabus. How is that you have decided the curriculum? What is the template which you have followed? Whether you have followed the UGC guidelines? And how is that you are going with the revamping of the syllabus? Based on what? Whether you have received any feedback from the alumni or any stakeholders, that is the purpose of the revamping of the syllabus. And you should focus on the outcome-based education. Every paper you have to specify what are the outcomes when the student leaves the campus, what is the outcome of every paper. And apart from the regular curriculum, what is that where a student can earn extra credits, either by going for an internship, or a MOOC course or an online NPTEL course or a SWIM course, and whatever courses it is, it should offer, it should meet the local, national, regional and global development needs. So we have just given a few examples here so that it will be easy for all of you to understand. For example, I just told you it should be according to the local, national, regional and global development needs. So, for example, MSc Physics. Now, that is the subject code, so which you need not bother about. The name of the paper is spectroscopy, and it is in tune with the local needs. The same spectroscopy is also in tune with the national as well as regional. But you must give the justification why it is in tune with the local. So, for example, spectroscopy, it is an electromagnetic spectrum. So what is the local need? Why is that we require spectroscopy locally? And why is it in national needs? Because it can be, it is a kind of an experiment which can be introduced to the students. And why is that we require it as a regional needs? Okay, so like that you have to identify every paper whether it is having local, national or regional. This is just a drop of in the ocean. We have shown you just an example. So when you have so many departments, so every paper will have an importance, some importance, and whether it is according to the local, global or national, that you have to segregate, that you have to show accordingly. Now the additional information that is required for 1.1.1, that is curriculum design and development. Now another thing which I would like to highlight is we have in our college a committee called CDDC. A committee which is known as Curriculum Design and Development Committee. So they frame the guidelines as to how we must go with the syllabus, how many outcomes should we frame, what are the objectives, how should we go about the objectives. So they will give us the guidelines based on the timeshare. We follow the timeshare template. So you as the university is following the UGC guidelines, so you should see what are the guidelines, the basic, the foundation of every curriculum. So based on that, on those guidelines, you can go about with the syllabus framing. And the additional information which is required here, that is, as I told you, PO, PSOs and CEOs should be uploaded in the website. So that link has to be provided here. The web link should be provided here. Then curriculum design and developmental flow chart. This flow chart is nothing but, as I told you, you are following the UGC guidelines. Then you have a discussion in the departmental level. Then you bring about the new papers. What are the new courses according to the emerging trends? What would you like to introduce as a new course meaning papers, and highlighting all the courses having developmental needs. And you can also, this is an extra point which we highlighted when we uploaded our SSR, is that where our own faculty members are board of studies for other institutions. So all these are the extra things. So all of us are doing so much. It's not that we are not doing, we are doing so much, but we should know where to highlight it, and we should try to incorporate wherever it is possible, and we should not leave anything. So that is the main thing here. So not even a single activity was left out. Everything we try to incorporate it wherever it is possible. Okay? And details. So every department, what we did was we conducted a workshop for this revamping or the revision of syllabus, so that we can get inputs from other teachers or other professors from other places, so that we will have a better idea to improve the syllabus. So all those workshop details were added here for the design and the development of the syllabi. So when I say it is a workshop, you have to provide the brochure. the invite of the workshop. Then you have to provide the list of the participants. Then you have to provide a report. What happened, everything, the minutes, whatever was discussed, everything should be provided along with the workshop details. Okay? So this is about 1.1.1. Now going to 1.1.2. So this is a quantitative metric where you have to give the number. So the percentage, so it says percentage, but you need not calculate the percentage, you have to give the number. The percentage will be calculated by the formula which is down. So that formula, we need not do anything, it will be calculated automatically. So all of us are well aware, it is not the first time the submission has happened. So you have to just give the number of programs which were revised out of the total number of programs which were not revised during the last 5 years. Now basically, as a ma'am told, you will be submitting your SSR in the year 23-24. So the latest completed year will be 22-23. So you have to back calculate from 22-23, 21-22, then 20-21, then 19-20, 18-19. So from 18-19 to 22-23 you have to provide. And always remember, the latest completed year for this university will be 22-23. Okay, because for few metrics we have to just provide the latest completed year details. Okay. So if we give the number according to year wise, and the formula will be implemented, and you will get the answer. Okay. So that will be done by the NAC. So we have to just give them the number. Another thing which I would like to highlight is the previous one, 1.1.1, the curriculums, the syllabus revision. After getting it approved by the Board of Studies member, the Board of Studies member comprises of, I don't know whether it is the university nominee here. Basically for us it is the university nominee. Then we have two subject experts, one industrialist and one alumni. Okay, so after getting all their inputs, the finalization of the syllabus takes place. It has to be approved by the academic council committee members. So that point has to be noted, and the minutes of the academic council member should be attached, should be enclosed. So Board of Studies minutes, academic council minutes, everything, and the syllabus, everything should be attached in 1.1.1. Okay. Yes. So any inclusion of new papers that can in any of the program, you can count that as 1. So likewise, you will get the numbers year wise, and you can that is enough. If you give the numbers, the answer will come automatically. Now this is the additional information. See, for criterion 1, that is the curricular aspect, the only thing which is repeatedly asked is the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Studies, the academic council member, academic council meeting, and the syllabus. This is what is asked in all the 4 metric for curricular aspect. Okay. Now the additional information, which see you have to call out what type of information you can upload along with this. So whatever came to our mind, whatever is related to the syllabus, whether it was a workshop that was conducted in your department or whatever it is, everything we had uploaded in this method. Okay? So details of the program syllabus revision in the last 5 years. So this is the data template which is given by the NAC. So you have to provide the code, the program code, then the name of the department, the year of introduction, status of implementation of CBCS as whatever the university is following, the year of implementation of CBCS, year of revision. If the revision has been carried out in the syllabus during the last 5 years. Now, another thing is they are asking the percentage of the content added or replaced. Now, every course has 5 units. Is it the same here, ma'am? Okay. So, in case if you want to change 1 unit, so you have 5 units. So, every unit will be 20. So, if you are changing that, so that the 20% has been changed. So, you must focus that percentage of change in this tabular column, and then you have to give the link. That is the everything. See, a drive has to be a separate mail has to be developed for this SSR alone, and that link has to be provided here, the web link. Okay. So this is about 1.1.2, wherever the programs require any revision, and you have to provide the percentage of the revision. How many units were revised, or whether you have replaced it, or whether you want to introduce something new. Anything depends, but you have to give the percentage. Now coming to the next one, 1.1.3. Now, average percentage of courses. So, courses meaning papers having focus on employability, entrepreneurship and skill development offered by the university. So, you have to identify the papers which has some connection with any one of the aspect. Okay, all those things, either what you should do is, in the syllabus, you can highlight it with different colors. Yellow represents employability, or red represents entrepreneurship. This we did it when they asked us in DVV. So you can also follow the same thing, so that they will get a clear picture that this paper is giving employability chances or something like that. Okay. Now this is also a quantitative metric where you have to just provide the numbers. You have to identify the papers and you have to give the numbers year-wise. And the formula will be applied, and you will get the answer will come out automatically. So this is the template that is attached to this metric. Course code. So every paper will have a code, the name of the course, the year of introduction. Another extra point here that has to be highlighted is, we are saying that this paper has some skill oriented or some kind of entrepreneurship. What is the type of activity which you have conducted in the department? So every paper, in case if you come out with any kind of activity, it can either be a quiz, or it can be a form of an internship, or it can be in the form of a workshop, or anything, or just a talk, an awareness program. What is that activity which you have conducted, which has a direct bearing on employability, entrepreneurship or skill development? So that has to be provided in this column. And again, as I told you, whenever you are giving details of the activities, you have to give the date, the brochure. Or brochure means a simple one. It need not be a colored one or something. All the details. Who's the person, the resource person, then what is the content that has to be, that will be covered during that activity, what are who are the beneficiaries, the list of the participants, the attendance, wherever you are going to conduct a workshop, or whether it is a seminar, or whether it is any kind of activity, the list of participants, their attendance is very, very important, because we had to provide the attendance list wherever they had asked us to about any kind of activities. Okay. So the link has to be provided. So the additional information which can be uploaded along with this, again as I told you, the syllabus. The syllabus will be there in all the metric for the first one. Then minutes minutes of Board of Studies Academic Council meeting with all the approvals of the courses. So you say that this course has been introduced. So what is the guarantee? What is the proof? It should be minuted in the Board of Studies as well as in the Academic Council meeting. So those proofs should be enclosed here. Another thing is, see, now when we say internship or any kind of hands-on training or something like that, you can also go for MOUs. If you come across any organization who are willing to sign all MOUs, those details can also be provided here. Okay? And the average percentage of courses having focus on employability, entrepreneurship and skill development. So this is the template. The above template is attached to this. So with that we finish 1.1. Okay. So 1.1 was about, yes, but the first one was about the revision. Then it was about how many new programs, any changes in the papers, and if you have any papers which have a direct link to employability, entrepreneurship or skill development. Now we come to the second key indicator, 1.2, which is academic flexibility. Now academic flexibility is that the number of papers we offer to the student. The way of the elective papers, we don't give only one paper, we give them more than two. So they have this flexibility, they can decide whatever is required, maybe their interest will be different. So they have this choice-based credit system is implemented here. So that is the flexibility, and whether you are giving any interdisciplinary courses. See, for example, in our college we have NME, non-major elective. Once a student of biochemistry can take a paper from commerce. Okay, so whether you have this kind of flexibility. Okay, so likewise, all these details will be provided in this key indicator, that is 1.2. So again it is a quantitative metric only, where you have to give the numbers. So the percentage of new papers or courses which is introduced out of the total number of courses across all programs offered during the last 5 years, and how many new courses were introduced within the last 5 years. So the template is there, where you have to just give the numbers and the formula will be applied. Again, the additional information, as I told you, the minutes of the Academic Council meeting and minutes of the Board of Studies meeting, and the data template is the same as 1.1.3. The same template is applicable even for this 1.2.1.2. Okay, that is the number of courses and what is the percentage. Okay. Now 1.2.2 is the percentage of program in which choice-based credit system has been implemented. So here almost all the programs is choice-based only. So you can give the total number of programs here, and this is applicable only for the latest completed year. So for you it will be 2022 to 2023, during that year. Okay. So the formula is number of programs in which CBCS system has been implemented divided by total number of programs into 100. The same additional information is only required here also. The template also remains the same. So we have finished the second key metric, and now we are coming to the third key indicator, that is curriculum enrichment. So here we have to focus, apart from your regular curriculum, apart from your regular classes, what is that you are providing? Whether you have any certificate courses, whether you have any add-on courses, whether you have any value-added courses, whether you have any diploma courses, everything where a student student can earn extra credits. All these things will come under curriculum enrichment. So you are enriching your curriculum apart from the regular syllabus, the regular teaching. All these extra courses come under curriculum enrichment. Okay, and we must sensitize the students to cross-cutting issues. Apart from the added courses, we should also have papers which are linked to gender sensitization, environment and sustainability, human values, professional ethics, and development of creative and divergent competency. So apart from these extra papers, that is value added or add-on or certificate or diploma, you should also have papers which have a direct link to all these topics. Now this 1.3.1 is totally qualitative. It is a description of 500 words. So I have just pointed out what is that you can highlight in that 500 words. Now as I told you, you should focus on apart from these the core areas which they have highlighted here, that is professional ethics, gender issues, human values, environmental and sustainability. You can also talk about the extra papers, the new papers, the value added papers, whatever you have apart from the regular syllabus, that also can be mentioned here. Okay, these are just the examples, whatever we have focused, just we have mentioned here. For example, professional ethics, some courses offered on business ethics or public and Indian administration. So you can decide whatever is applicable in your discipline, you can decide. Okay. Now, gender issues on women empowerment or gender equity or something like that, or psychological perspectives, human values like life skills, human resource management, like that, and environment related, it can be any. See here, even you can also focus on the various activities. All these things can be uploaded as additional information. Okay. So here, that is what I told you. Any extra things you have, any kind of activities you have conducted, and all the details of the value-added courses, add-on courses, certificate courses, the PG diploma courses, all those which you have can be highlighted here. When you highlight, as I told you, a brochure is required, the course content is required, then the beneficiaries who will be benefited from this, that also, those details are also required. Okay? The objectives and outcomes, whatever it is, whether it is a workshop or an internship, objective and outcomes are very essential. Nowadays, they expect this objective outcomes. Now, this is just an example which we have focused here, so that you will get a clear picture. For example, these are the additional information which we have uploaded. For example, professional ethics, these are the papers which are offered, I think by the Commerce Department. These are the name of the papers. So how it is related to professional ethics? Same way, gender. How is that this American literature is related to gender sensitization issues, entrepreneurship, human values like regional economics, introduction to human rights. So all of you will be having some papers bearing a link for these core values or core thrust areas. So you can identify and you can formulate. All these things were formulated by us. That is the tabular column was framed by all of us, okay, together, by the department, by the IPSC coordinator, and by all the IPSC members. They do not give all these things. See, all the additional information should be decided by all of you. What is that we should try to upload as an additional information? What kind of, whether it can be a tabular column or it can be a brochure or anything, whatever it is, how is that you want to upload it as an additional information? Because for additional information, they do not give the format. They do not give any template that has to be decided by all of you, and it should be uniform. Uniformity should be followed throughout across all the programs. So this is how we have to identify the papers, and we can formulate a methodology as to how we should project all these papers. Now coming to 1.3.2, again it comes under curriculum enrichment only. So these are the value added. So he focuses. What do you mean by value added courses? Means any course which comes to 30 hours or more. It should be minimum 30 hours. So that is required. That is known as a value added, and it should not be within the college timings. It can also be taken online, but it should be apart from the college timings. That is what he specifies. So accordingly, we have to decide what is that you can take as a value added. It can be an online also, but the proof is essential. The proof is required. Okay. So how many new value added courses were there within the last 5 years? And you can change. If you want to change your value added next year, you can change. You have the freedom to change. Or if you want to keep that paper also, you can keep the paper for 3 years. And every 3 years you can introduce a new value added course. But see to that you bring in papers which are skill oriented. Okay. So these are the additional information which is required. So again, year wise you must give the number of value added course. Some departments will take more than one value added course because it is only for 30 hours. That will get over in 2 months. So again you can have another. And here again you can sign an MOU where you can outsource it, where you can collect money per student if the students are willing to pay. Okay, it can be outsourced and an MOU can be signed. So that is how most of us are doing. We are getting an MOU signed by some external agency, and they handle the classes. Because the weightage will be more, because we will get a certificate from that agency, from that association. Okay, so all these things should be kept in mind. So what are the additional information? The list of value added courses, so list of MOUs, so wherever most of the places they ask about MOUs. How many MOUs are you having? What are the activities? Just a MOU will not do. It should be functional. What are the activities you are conducting with that MOU? How many students are benefited out of it? All these things should be provided. Certificates. See, if you have 3,000 or 4,000 students, you should have certificate for all the 4,000 students scanned. And it should be uploaded. Everything, every minute detail should be scanned. Whether it is a brochure or whether it is a certificate or whether it is an invite or whatever it is, everything must be scanned. Okay? And name of the value added courses with 30 or more contact numbers and number of times. So you might also do it more than once within that year. So that also you can highlight it here. Total number of students completing the course in this year and brochure and other document relating to the value added courses. Now as I told you, again the list of participants is required. The attendance is essential here. So I have just I'll show you the brochure later. So this is what has to be covered under 1.3.2. Now coming to 1.3.3 is similar. It is related to 1.3.2. Here they are just asking the students enrolled in value added courses. You have to give the number year wise. So this is again required for 5 years. the name of the value-added courses, the number of times, and the total number of students completing the course. So the formula will be applied if you give the number otherwise. So this is the data template for 1.3.2 and 1.3.3 where the name of the value-added courses that is offered, the course code. So that course code, either the department or the controller of examination can decide and give you a code, the year of offering, number of times offered during the same year, duration of the course. So you should mention from which date to this date you had completed. So that 30 hours should be completed. The number of students enrolled and the number of students completing the course. Many students will enroll, but whether they are continuing or not, that also you have to provide, whether they have successfully completed. Okay, and this is just a format which we had done, that is because they are asking for the list of students, the number of students enrolled. So here along with the value-added name, course name, the program name, that is the name of the department, we are also giving the student's name with the register number. So they will not ask anything. Everything is clear cut. Everything we are providing. So they are not going to have any doubts. That is how many students have attended, whether that girl, the student has finished the course or some or not. All the details if you provide, they are not going to ask anything. And the file description that has to be uploaded is any. So this is the additional information. The second tabular column was just decided by the college, where we had uploaded as an additional information. The list of students enrolled is the same thing, the above tabular column. Now this is the brochure which anybody can prepare. Okay, this is just an example which I have given, which I have just projected here. That is value-added course in English. What is the objective? The course content, the outcome, who is the service provider, if you are going for an MOU or if you are going for outsourcing. All the details in one, in one slide, everything will be there. So likewise, all the departments can provide, can prepare brochures, not only for value-added courses, for anything, for a workshop or for a seminar. All of us, naturally all of us prepare brochures, but for all the other things also, the NAC people, they want the brochures where every information is provided. Okay. Now coming to 1.3.4, so this is, so far we have seen about the value-added course. Now this is related to the field project, the research projects or the internship. So all these things will come within the curriculum, because some papers require internship, some papers require industrial visit or the field visit. Some papers will be related to the research projects. So all these things are within the curriculum, and this is also for the latest completed year. You need not provide for 5 years. Okay. Now here the requirement is the number of students undertaking field projects or research projects or internship. So again, internship or research or field, the list of participants is essential with the signatures of the students. Somehow get it done. Okay, the name of the program, the number of students. If you give the number, the formula will be applied. So this is the template, program code, program name. So for every course, whether it is a value added or whatever it is, a code is required. Okay. So here for this field, that is which department is offering this kind of internship or which paper, and how many students are benefited. Link means all the proof is the link. You have to provide the web link where when you click the link, all the details about the activities will be there. Okay. Now the additional information is the project. For example, this is just an example for the research project. That first page the title, the name of the student, the register number, under whose guidance, that paper can be projected here as an additional information. Okay. Then the list of programs and the number of students undertaking field project, research project and internship. So this is the data template. Again, it was not given by NAC. We have just created this template so that everything will be clearly projected. So the name of the program code, the register number, the name of the students, whether she's undergoing a field visit or an internship, and linked to that is the certificates are very, very essential. Whether it is a workshop or an internship or whatever it is, the certificate, every certificate has to be scanned and uploaded. Now coming to the last key indicator, 1.4, feedback mechanism, which is again a very, very essential key indicator, because it is not only getting the feedback from the stakeholders, it is also whether we are analyzing it and whether we are taking any action towards it for the improvement, for the betterment. So that is what is covered here under this key indicator, feedback. It says revision and redesigning of the curriculum based on the recent developments. Now, we are having this feedback mechanism where we collect feedback from the students, from the teachers, from the parents. Parents, when they come for the PTA, Parents Teacher Association, we just take, we have a feedback where we have included 2 or 3 points related to the curriculum. Now, this feedback is only for curriculum. So you have to collect from the teachers, from the students, from the alumni, from the employers, from the industries. Employers are those who conduct the campus drive. They come for campus drive, for placement. So there also you can take some feedback from the employers. Okay. So all these things, how is that it is helping in the betterment or improvement of the syllabus? So that is what is discussed here in feedback. So it is not only collecting the feedback from all the stakeholders, but it is also analyzing it and identifying and drawing pointers to enhance the learning effectiveness. So this is it is a descriptive one only. There is no number required here. That is, you have to opt whether you are collecting the feedback from students, teachers, employees, alumni, and whether it has been analyzed and whether action has been taken. Action meaning what is that you have done for the improvement. Okay. This is the data requirement. I think it is there in the next slide. Report of the analysis of the feedback received from the different stakeholders year-wise. This has to be uploaded. What is that you receive from the stakeholders? So you will be receiving so many feedbacks. So that you have to consolidate, and that report has to be uploaded along with the feedback which you have received individually from the students' parents. You should also consolidate that and give a report. Okay, and the file description, the URL for the stakeholders feedback report, then the action taken report of the university on the feedback as stated in the minutes of the governing council, syndicate or board of management, that has to be uploaded, and any additional information. So 1.4.2 is whether the feedback was collected, analyzed, action taken, feedback posted on the institutional website. Now whatever we have seen so far, everything must be uploaded in the website. The next option, B is feedback whether it was collected, analyzed and action has been taken. C is feedback collected and analyzed. D is feedback collected and E is feedback not collected. So you can opt any one. The documents which has to be furnished here is upload the stakeholders feedback report, action taken report of the university, just whatever we saw in the previous slide, and you can give any kind of additional information only. I told you all these feedback can be scanned and uploaded. Now coming to 1.4.2, the feedback system of the institution comprises of the following. That is, whether all these things can be highlighted, whatever we have written in blue, whether any new programs were introduced, whether any new courses were introduced, whether there is a project in the final semester. All these are the suggestions which were given by the stakeholders. This is just an example. So from the feedback, you can take down these points and you can write. You can mention it over here. What is that they require to improve the syllabus? Okay. The additional information is this is what I can do. The additional information is this is what I told you. Scan copy of the feedback alumni and students, parents, teachers, alumni and employers. Whether it was designed according to the latest or the recent trends. Whether textbooks are available. So just giving the syllabus is apart from that, they should have some material also for reference. Whether textbook is available, whether reference material is available, whether the syllabus is organized properly. There should be an order. Just like that, we cannot design a syllabus. There should be an order. Hierarchy must be there. So all these things should be, planned. All these things can be put in the feedback. From the parents, even we ask, what is that made your wards to get admitted in this college? Because of the infrastructure, or because of the curriculum, or because of the discipline, or because of the quality education, or because of the career opportunities. So we give them simple questions so that it will be easy for them to give the feedback. From the teachers, we ask whether the syllabus has been designed according to the latest needs, whether the learning outcomes have been achieved. Not teaching will not do. Whether you were able to make the student understand the concept and whether you have achieved the outcomes, whether you have helped the students achieve the outcomes. Okay? Whether innovative methodologies were used in the teaching learning process and whether a reference material is available. So such questions were asked, few of the questions which were asked in the feedback. Okay? Just now coming to criterion 2. So criterion 2 is about teaching, learning and evaluation. So it starts with the admission policy, whether it is transparent, whether the admission policy is uploaded in the website, and what are the methodologies which are used to enhance the teaching learning process. And how is that we identify the different categories of students? See, all the students will not be intelligent. Some student will be at a low pace. How is that? What are the methodologies which we are using to identify? How is that you identify this student is a slow learner and the other student is a fast learner? Okay, and what are the training which you are giving to these type of students, and how is that ICT has helped you to improve the teaching learning process. So all these things will be highlighted in criterion 2, which is teaching, learning and evaluation. So it is for 200 marks. So you have 7 key indicators. Out of that, 11 are quantitative metric and 7 are qualitative metric. So as I told you, 7 key indicators. The first one is student enrollment and profile, which comprises of 10 marks, catering to student diversity, 20 teaching learning process, 20 teacher quality 50, evaluation process and reforms 40, student performance and learning outcomes 30, and student satisfaction survey, that is again 30. Now coming to the first key indicator, student enrollment and profile, which is for 10 marks. So here we have to say that the admission policy is transparent, and in case if it is totally online, what is the software which you are using and what is that you are following, whether you are following the state government rule, the state government policy for the admission of students. That is very, very important here. And it is not that only admitting students from your states, whether you are admitting students from other states or countries. So all these things will be reflected in student enrollment and profile. Now this is a quantitative metric, the demand ratio 2.1.1. It is the demand ratio. Demand ratio is nothing but the total number of application forms received. You have to give the details of the total number of eligible application forms received. So this is for the 5 years. So every department will have a sanction strength. For example, BSc Physics means a sanction strength will be 50. So that number has to be provided. So program wise, you have to give the total number here. But when you are giving the additional information, you have to give program wise. This is university wise, you are giving the number alone. But you have to upload everything program wise. For this program, what is the sanction strength? How many students were admitted during that year? So, and the formula is here, number of eligible application forms received divided by the total number of seats available. So that ratio will come automatically. Now this is the data template that is given by the NAC, program code, program name, number of seats available or sanctioned, number of eligible application forms received, and number of students admitted. So these are the supporting documents which is projected down. Number of application forms received, whether it is UG or PG during the last 5 years. Now we receive a university communication regarding the sanction strength every year. So that has to be enclosed here. Then the admissions policy, and in case if I told you, if it is an online admission process, you have to take screenshots of that admission software, and that also should be uploaded here. So screenshots of admission portal interface and a copy of that online application form. The link has to be provided. Web link to the online application form. So all these are the supporting documents for this key indicator, that is 2.1.1 demand ratio. Now this is what we follow, the state government policy, that is 31% for the open category, 30 for backward class, and within this 3.5 for Muslim and 3.5 for Christians, 20% for MDC and denotified communities, and 18% for scheduled class, and 1 for scheduled tribe. And here we have given a special provision for Divyanjan. Because Divyanjan is not mentioned here, we have also added Divyanjan. Okay, that is differently abled students. Now this is what we have provided, just to make you understand. We have just given this. So this is the format that is given by the NAC. 2.1.2, average percentage of seats filled against the reserved category, whether it is SC, ST, OBC, Divyanjan, etc., as applicable according to the state government policy during the last 5 years. So these additional seats should not be mentioned, included here. That is why they say excluding supernumerary seats. Okay, and this is a quantitative data, and the right hand side of me gives you an idea. The numbers denote the students which are admitted according to Okay, the left hand side is the actual students which you should have admitted according to the state government policy. Okay, so this is what they expect. Okay, so right hand side we can give clearly, that is the number of students admitted, but actually whatever is required is there on the left hand side if you follow the policy. So the 5 years data has to be given here. Now another metric under this key indicators, the number has to be projected here year-wise. Number of actual students admitted from the reserved categories year-wise during the last 5 years. Okay, so the formula will be applied accordingly. The supportive documents, extract of the admission details submitted to the state government. So every year the details go from the institution to the government. Everything has to be authenticated by the head of the institution. Prospective copies, and if you are having any differently abled students, you have to give all the details. What is that the child is lacking, and that UDID number is there. If she is partially blind, so that number will be given by the government. So all those details must be provided. Now 2.2 is catering to student diversity. I told you criterion 2 also provides a platform where we can identify the type of student, whether she is a slow learner or a fast learner, and what is that we are providing them to enhance their learning capacity. So that is what is there in catering to student diversity, which is for 20 marks. It is a qualitative metric. It is a description of 500 words. The institution assesses the learning levels of the students and organizes special programs for advanced learners and slow learners. So if you have any students who are slow or advanced, usually the IQAC will organize, or a department also can take over it and organize special programs. For example, slow learners, we have programs where the memory skills can be improved, how to memorize things, all these things we keep a kind of a workshop for such students. We identify, it is not for the entire strength of students, we identify few students and we have a special workshop for these children. And remedial classes, because if they require some extra, and not only extra coaching, if they require special attention, what is that? So you have to provide the details of the remedial classes. For advanced learners, what is that program you organize? Because we have to give them all the career opportunities. How is that they can enhance their learning capacity, all those things. How, and we must encourage them to participate in events. It's not that only advanced learners we have to encourage, we can also encourage the slow learners. Okay, so all those details will be enclosed here as additional information. The online courses, because advanced learners, they enroll themselves for this is 3 months, 6 months online NPTEL course. So all those details will be provided here. What is the soft skill program, leadership programs or personality development, interpersonal, all these things are the extra things which you can project. You can think from your perspective and you can also give this as an additional information. So these are the supportive documents, the remedial register with marks before and after. So how is that department or the head will identify the student is that before the continuous internal assessment and after the continuous internal assessment, how is the performance, okay, of marks. That is how we identify. The student participation certificate in case of advanced learners, snapshots of the remedial class, snapshots of peer learning, because slow and advanced learners can get together and help each other in learning. Bridge course, soft skill programs, snapshots of orientation. That is every year when the freshers come into the institution, we give them a 7-day students induction program where we highlight all these things. Those snapshots of the orientation. Earlier it was called orientation, now it is called as students induction program. And the other key metric under this key indicator is 2.2.2 student is to full-time teacher ratio. We have to just provide the numbers for the latest completed year, and the advisable, the ratio which is ideal is 1:20. 1:20. Okay. So that is for one teacher, 20 students. Okay. And the supporting document here is student strength for all the 3 years during that particular year, latest completed year, program wise, and full-time teacher faculty list has to be provided. With that, I finish my presentation. I hand over the session to Mrs. Jasmine.
I'm happy to introduce Ms. Jasmine. So she is an associate professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Science. So her education qualification is she has done a Bachelor of Electronics Science from JBS College for Women, Master of Science in Applied Electronics MSc from SNR since affiliated to Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, Master of Philosophy in Electronics and Film from Bharatdasan University. She has passed her UGC NET exam in the year 2013. Various responsibilities held by her. She is a member of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, member of Outcome-Based Education Committee. She is a Department Alumni Coordinator. She is a Department Website Accreditation in charge. She has organized national, international workshops and seminars, state-level symposiums on the latest topics, green technology, IoT and fuzzy logic. She has guided projects based on embedded system hardware model and software simulation for UG final year students. She has conducted value-added programs. She has presented papers, 3 national papers and 1 international paper in various state and international seminars. She has 7 papers to her credit, both national and international. And she has done a research project on intelligent control of electrical system for energy consumption using PIR sensor, real-time application implemented in electronics lab, where the funding agency was MRCC Management. So, welcome to the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. Let us begin with the key indicator 2.3. Any institution may comprise of diverse learners belonging to various backgrounds, different levels of learning abilities and other personal issues which will definitely influence their extent of learning. So we must adopt learner-centered methods instead of adopting a traditional chalk and talk method. In key indicator 2.3, the first metric is about student-centric methods. It's a qualitative metric where we have to describe in about 500 words about the various pedagogy we are using in the teaching learning process. Like, let me list out a few. Like we may have think, pair, share. A teacher may pose a question. Students may find the solution, discuss in a group, and any one of them may be asked to answer. Then you can have 1-minute paper. That is at the end of the class session, you may give objective question and ask them to write it in a paper and submit. Then you can have mind mapping. That is, after the class, you may ask the students to give a visual representation of the various concepts that are covered about a particular topic during a class hour. Otherwise, you can also give a peer evaluation. Each student can evaluate other papers using the rubric. Rubric is nothing a set of criteria which can be provided by the instructor. The other general methods you can have like role play. A topic can be given to a group of students and ask them to do some drama or anything else. Then you can have internship, educational tour, hands-on training, student seminar, a quiz, a lab session, group discussion, peer learning, hands-on workshop. Even the final year students, those who are doing the project, that project work also can be reflected here. What we have to do is first we have to brainstorm to categorize how it is categorized into different types of learning like participative learning, experiential learning, problem solving, even you can show as a collaborative learning. If you have any clubs and committees, those activities can also be reflected in this 2.3.1. And apart from this, what we have shown is, we have shown a geotag photos for each and every activities have been uploaded in the SSR. In addition to that, from the department, we have got how much of percentage has experiential learning. That is from the template, the department from the template, that is from the curriculum template, the department has to highlight the practical papers and they have to find out how much of percentage is experiential learning, and those templates also highlighted and it's also mentioned in the descriptive part. Next key indicator 3.2 is about use of ICT enabled tools in teaching learning process. It is also a qualitative metric of about 500 words where we have to describe the different ICT tools used by the teachers in teaching learning process, like any PowerPoint presentations, then self-developed YouTube lectures, then utilization of LMS, learning management platform, like in our college we are using Google Classroom. If you are using that, you can upload this snapshot of the Google Classrooms. Otherwise, if you have any dedicated learning management software, that can also be uploaded. Then virtual class during pandemic actually for us, pandemic helped us to enhance the marks because many classes were conducted using Google Meet and many of the virtual labs have been utilized by us. Then we can also project the classes that is conducted through any television channel. Then any module that is created for the MOOCs, those things also can be highlighted here. Then we can also conduct quiz using Kahoot. Then uses of free resources like e-books, e-journals, then online databases, those things also can be projected here. Here you have to mention the number of teachers on roll, that is number of full-time teachers, and the number of teachers. That it is not that all the teachers have to use, but as I said before, the pandemic helped us to enhance the mark that all the teachers started using all the ICT tools. So we mentioned as 100%. Then the number of smart classrooms, that is number of smart classrooms, that is smart boards installed in the classrooms. Then what are the various e-techniques that has been used in the teaching learning process, that also has to be listed out here apart from the description of 500 words. And one more important part is the PowerPoint presentations and the self-developed video lectures has to be uploaded in the website for each and every teacher, department-wise. The next key indicator, next metric is 2.3.3. It is about ratio of students to mentor. Here, maximum of 25 to 30. What we adopted is cross-mentoring system within the department. That is, if staff is handling for first year, the first year students will not be allotted as a mentee for that staff. Other classes like second year and third year students can be allotted as a mentee for that particular staff. So that is the system we have adopted, and maximum of about 25 to 30 mentees can be allotted for the one mentor. And here to substantiate this, we have to provide the guidelines guidelines. A guidelines has to be prepared by the internal quality assurance cell and has to be circulated to the department regarding the do's and don'ts of the mentor. Then you should have a mentor-mentee record. Mentor-mentee record has to be maintained by each mentor. That it should have the data regarding the students' activities, the marks they have obtained in CAAs. All those things has to be there in the department, and a few copies of the mentor-mentee record can be uploaded. Then photographs of the mentoring session is very important, geotag photos, and the mentoring schedule has to be mentioned in the calendar. That proof also has to be uploaded. Then the circular is very important. We should have two circulars, one from the head of the institution and another from the head of the department. The head of the institution should do the circular to the departments to allot the mentees to the mentor, and the second circular will be from the head of the department to the staff members, indicating that these are the mentees allotted to the mentors. Then you should also have the list indicating the names of the students, register number, and the number of students allotted for the mentor. It should be a department-wise list. It should be authenticated by the head of the institution as well as head of the department. Then in our institution we have mentor-mentee certificate also. Depending upon the performance of the mentor, each mentor will provide a certificate giving the grade for their interpersonal skills, any activities they participated in, sports, cultural. We will give a grade, and that certificate will be provided at the end of the, that is once they complete the 3 years. Your next key indicator is 2.4. It is about teachers' profile and quality. Here we have to give the recruitment process, number of full-time teachers against the sanction post, number of teachers who have completed PhD, and number of teachers who have received any awards or recognitions. Here the first key metric is 2.4.1, where we have to give the number of full-time teachers against the sanction post. Since we are college, we used to upload a affiliation copy. Each department will have an affiliation copy in which they would have specified the number of sanction posts. That post we will highlight and those copies will be uploaded. Then we have to prepare a name list of all the faculty members with the date of appointment, and year of experience. This data also has to be authenticated by the head of the institution. Then we also, in addition to that, we also given a consolidated number department-wise. Department-wise, the previous data is name list. The next one is a consolidated number. The number of teachers at present working as a full-time teachers in the department versus the sanction post. That consolidated number also has to be authenticated by the head of the institution. Then snapshots of the college calendar. That is, in our college calendar, we have the staff list. That staff list also we have taken a copy of it, authenticated, and we have uploaded it. And one more important part in this 2.4.1 is declaration form. That is, in the principal letterhead, we have to, principal has to, that is, head of the institution has to declare that these many staffs are working as a full-time teachers for the latest completed academic year. This declaration also has to be given by the institution. Then this is a data template, and the data template for 2.4.1 and 2.4.3 are same. Whereas for 2.4.1, you have to provide the details for 5 years. And for 2.4.3, the data can be provided only for the latest completed academic year. Here in total years of experience, we have included the months also. Next metric 2.4.2 is number of teachers who have completed a PhD. We have to specify the consolidated number year-wise for the 5 years, which shows incremental growth. And this data template also has to be submitted, authenticated by the principal, that is name list of the faculties who have completed PhD and year of obtaining the qualification, and the copy of the degree certificate of the PhD program also has to be uploaded. And 2.4.3 is about teaching experience of the full-time teachers in the same institution, that is in this university. The experience of the teachers from the other institution will not be considered at all. So you have to mention only experience of this university. Here we have to upload the appointment order of all the teachers for the latest completed academic year, but make sure that you are keeping the copy of those staffs who have left the institution during this 5 years, because during DDD that may be asked. This is 2.4.4 is about number of teachers who have received awards from the government recognized bodies. Here you have to enclose the e-copies of the award letters or e-copies of the certificates. Okay, all the certificates has to be again authenticated by the head of the institution. You have to do the scanning and you have to upload. This is a data template for 2.4.4. This same template has to be uploaded for the metric 3.4.2 also. Okay, that is any incentives provided by the university for the awards received by the faculties. That is that link of their letters, e-copies of the letters can also be attached here. Next key indicator is about evaluation process and reforms. This evaluation process and reforms is used to test the quality of the teaching, learning and evaluative methods using how the students has performed in the examination, then percentage of students placed, then attainment level of the outcome-based education, and as well as number of students who opted for the higher studies. All these plays an important role. So here this 2.45 exclusively data has to be given by the controller of examinations office. So here the first metric is 2.5.1, where we have to specify the number of days between the last date of the examination and the publication of date of the publication result. What we have taken is sometimes we may take some more days for the first year result and second year result to be published. So we have considered the publication date of the final year result. So that was projected here. A data template is given where we have to give the program name, program code, then which year it belongs to, then last date of the last semester, that is end semester examination, and date of declaration of the result. This has to be taken print out. Again, it has to be authenticated by the controller of examination and the head of the institution. Here, as far as this 2.5 indicator, 2.5 is concerned, annual report is very important. The annual report must comprise of the timetable. First, it should comprise of EPMC minutes. EPMC is examination policy making committee minutes. Every year, do you have any change in examination policy? That has to be reflected in the annual report, and it should have a timetable, date of publication of the result, and it also should have the pass percentage. It also should have pass percentage and any examination software that has been purchased. That also has to be shown in the annual report. Then 2.5.2 is about student compliance and grievances. Here you have to give two data. One is number of complaints, the second one is percentage per year. The number of complaints is number of students who have applied for the grievances, retotaling, then photocopy, improvement, those numbers has to be included. You have to take the average of the odd semester and the even semester. The percentage per year is, we have to calculate that in previous metrics, automatically the NAC itself calculates, whereas here we have to calculate this percentage per year using the formula that is number of complaints or grievances received by versus total number of students appeared in the examination. have to do the annual report. I forgot to tell, annual report also must have the number of students who applied for grievances. Then you also have to upload the specimen copy of the application that you are using for the re-evaluation, improvement, photocopy, that is asking for the photocopy of the answer scripts, then retotaling also. Then 2.5.3 and 2.5.4 is about automation involved in the examination process. It is a description of about 500 words, where we have to mention about not only automation that is involved in the examination process, but here we have to mention about what is the procedure that is involved in the continuous internal assessment, then end semester examination, what is the weightage is allotted for the CAA and end semester examination, then how much percentage of marks has been given for the subjective and objective questions, then how far the examination system is transparent. Then in addition to that, you also have to mention how the automation assists us to do the examination process, right from beginning of the allotment of the register number, timetable generation, hall ticket generation, then the CAA marks calculation, end semester evaluation, then publication of the result. All this has to be given in a description of about 500 words. It's not that only CAA, that is not the continuous. Controller of examination must be aware of all this process that is going on. Even each and every faculty members must be knowing what is happening in the controller of examinations office. And here this 2.4.1 is you have to opt anyone whether the examination process is 100% automation or only automation is carried out only for the student registration, hall ticket issue and result processing, or you have the automation only for student registration and result processing. Automation is carried out only for the result processing, or no automation at all. It is only a manual process. You have to opt anyone. Here we have to upload the annual report. As I mentioned before, the annual report should have what are the software that is purchased within that 5 years, and what is the updation that is done in the software. That is the automation that happened in the examination process. That you have to highlight that in the annual report, and that has to be uploaded. In addition to that, if you have any software interfaces, like step-by-step software interfaces, that you can take the screenshot and that has to be uploaded. Or if you have any exclusive manual, the manual stating that what is the kind of software or what is the kind of automation that is happening in the examination, that is the COE's office, that manual has to be uploaded. And the examination manual comprising of the process of the CAA examination, end semester examination, if we have any instant examination. In our institution, we have an exam called as instant exam. That instant exam is conducted for the final year students. Suppose a final year student has an arrear in the last end semester examination. So to have them to be placed in the companies, we can conduct the instant examination within the 10 days of the publication of the result. Then key indicator 2.6 is about student performance and learning outcomes. It is talking about the extent to which teaching and learning has been effective is reflected in the students' performance in the examination. Here you have some 3 metrics. In the first metric, we have to mention how well the outcomes are communicated. The second one tells what is the attainment level of the outcome-based education, and third one is students' performance in the examination. That is, as I said, 2.6.1 is how well, that is how the outcomes are communicated to the students, teachers, parents. Okay. Here it is a qualitative metric. Again, you have to describe in about 500 words, where we have to first start with how this PSC, that is programs, educational outcome, program specific outcomes are designed to meet the attribute of the graduate. Then how the course outcomes are framed, adopting the bottom-top approach. That is, the course outcome has to be first framed by the course instructor. That is a course teacher. The course teacher should frame the course outcome, and that course outcome has to be finalized by the head of the department, then to the head of the institution. Then it should be passed by the Board of Studies and Academic Council meeting. And as my colleague Anjuman said, all the outcomes, that is program education outcome, program specific outcome, even course outcomes has to be uploaded in the website, college website, and that link has to be provided. Then you have to give the Academic Council meeting minutes. Then we used to induct our students during the beginning of the first year students in the beginning of the academic year regarding this program specific outcome, program education outcome in the student induction program. That photographs can be attached. Then we used to display the course at the beginning of every semester. We used to display the course outcomes in the department notice board. That photographs, geotag photographs you can upload. Then the program outcomes and program specific outcomes will be displayed in the library. Okay, because the program outcomes is specific for science, arts and commerce. So we used to display that in the library, and that photograph, geotag photograph also has to be uploaded. Then during parents teacher meeting, we used to educate the parents about the outcome, that is we adopt the outcome based education through the circular. That circular also can be highlighted and uploaded. So this is how we used to display the photographs we have shown here. Then 2.6.2 is about attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes evaluated by the institution. We adopt both the methods, direct method of attainment as well as indirect method of attainment, which will be briefed by Dr. Jabin ma'am in the future sessions. Then the key indicator 2.6.3 is again the data provided by Controller of Examination Office. It is about pass percentage of the students. This data is only for the final year students. Number of students appear and number of students who have passed the examination. And I told that it has to be reflected in the our annual report. Then last one is about student satisfaction survey. We all know that the student satisfaction survey is a very important part, and the particulars of all the students currently pursuing when you submit the SSR has to be given in this template form. Template form in the Excel format, that is name of the student, gender, category, state of domicile, nationality, email ID, the program name, the program unique enrollment number, mobile number and year of joining. The columns must not be shuffled, and we have to make sure that data are not repeated. So this has to be uploaded along with the SSR. The SSS data has to be uploaded. Before that, we must sensitize the students regarding the importance of this SSS. The questions that may be asked in SSS will have the 20 questions of objective part and one subjective question. The questions are available in the NAC website. So you can conduct such survey to the students unofficially, and we may find out the feedback, how the students are responding to the survey. But we have to educate the student that this survey is conducted unofficially because one of the questions that may be asked in SSS is whether they have encountered such survey in the institution. They must say as no. And the students must be well educated that this SSS is going to improve the grade of the institution. It is not any grievance committee, and how when the grade is enhanced, how it is going to help them in the placement. All this has to be educated to the students, and we also must allot the staff members to keep track of the mails. That is whether the mails are received by the students and how many students have responded to the mail within that stipulated time. A 10 days time will be given. So within that time, you have to make sure that whether the students have responded to the mail.